readjusting what you see in the frame.
Oh God, all these possibilities.
I think it'd be interesting.
I mean, the other thing is that within this whole thing, we could turn the movement and send it that way. Yeah. So that we're going from just seeing part of the body to seeing the whole movement.
There'd be a feel to that that would
have to be
very, very different.
That would have to be the next thing I do then.
Right.
The end bit and the low wall is what we set fire to.
Is that the one you have in the car?
And reveal the water in the foreground bottom.
Matthew,
Right.
what we'll see,
Without dropping your battery.
the camera starts pointing in this direction at something here, and it'll flip up through the sky and come down on your head, which is just coming out of water. So if he pulls his head out and it's steaming, and the water behind him is not steaming, does that suggest that he's putting his head in the same water, or does it suggest that he's steaming?
That he's steaming. Bear in mind, as you're walking, you're supposed to think about establishing with the camera the idea of the point of view, of the dreamer's point of view as you're walking. So that I think a lot of moving shots as we wander through it. See it as we discover it as we come to it.
roll. Lauren, lean. Lauren, roll. Lauren, lean. Betsy, lean. Ian, lean. Ian.
Ian, you go. And
Matthew, lean. Sally, roll. Sally, lean. Catherine, roll. Everyone with black, lean. Everyone else, roll. Lauren, lean. Kathy, lift. Sally, lift. Betty, lift. Paul, lean. Matthew, roll. Lauren, roll. Everyone lean.
absolutely bananas. I'm being wrong. But I thought, go, stop, and the camera just that. The
That's
camera's
not
doing
wrong.
this,
say
and
it
this
was
is
wrong.
doing.
No,
But
Yeah.
that was the idea. But
I think
it
it's a
doesn't
good
work
idea.
because
Well, let's
he
try
goes-
and
it
let's
doesn't-
try and work out a way for that rhythm to work, for the go, stop, go to be played against the continuous
That's-
movement of the
yeah.
camera.
That's exactly
Because
what
I
I'm
think that's a
saying.
smashing idea.
When will you be ready? Never. Never, never.
And he just repeats that.
Yes, and Sally is going to be on the other edge, but just like moving her arms like
Right.
this, facing her.
And the square drum will be more, will be sort of slow.
So he'll be in. He will actually be in shot at the end.
Right. I
It's a
think
stopping
it's
shot then,
Yeah.
so it's a freeze.
the continuous flow of the camera against which you're doing stop-start, that it can do that smoothly.
I wouldn't mind trying again and just not thinking we've got.
To do it
It's
in
like
3
having a
seconds.
great paint box
Yeah.
and having all the colours and
one,
putting them all.
do one more.
Take a deep breath. Don't attempt anything just yet. You're not ready. When will you be ready? Never. Never, never. That means I must start now. Don't start, don't even think of it. It's too difficult. No, it's too easy. I won't be stopped, stanched, bandaged. Let me try. Just don't pay attention while I try.
Brow furrowed, palms moist, Tatiana sits down at the escritoire to write Eugène a letter. After the salutation, she stalls. How to proceed when after all they have met only once, a few evenings ago downstairs? That rush of warmth. She wants to declare something. She pictures him against a background of air, and he becomes slimmer, denser, more remote. It's a declaration of love she wants to declare. She begins to sing.
The first time I saw you, you had a white scarf knotted at the throat. The sun was in your hair. Your blouse was striped. You were wearing linen pants and espadrilles. From the table on the cafe terrace overlooking the Piazza del Popolo, I saw you approaching. I didn't think you were beautiful. Talking gaily of having spent a night in jail for seizing the ticket for speeding the policeman had just written out and tearing it up, you sat down and ordered a lemon sherbet. I saw you and thought, if I cannot say I love you, I am lost. But I didn't. Instead, I'm going to write a letter. The weakest move. Now that I see how beautiful you are, your face gets in the way. On a lenticular screen, the eyes follow me. I do not want to tell you you are beautiful. I must think of something else. Custom and my unfair heart demand that I flatter you, to coax a feeling from you. I want to pronounce those blessed words. Love, love, love.
You didn't look at me, Tatiana has written on the first page. And in the middle of the second, I'm writing to you now to ask if you ever think of me.
The letter that was never sent. Ghost of. The letter that never arrived. Two more sorts of ghosts. The letter that is lost in the mail. The letter that was not written, but she said she wrote one and that it must have gotten lost in the mail. You can never trust the mail. You can never trust the mailer.
This is a letter that breaks the bad news. I don't know how to begin. Didn't seem as bad when it first started. We were quite hopeful. The situation got worse only towards the end. I hope you'll accept this as best you can. I hate to be the bearer of,
Why people don't
etc.,
write letters
etc.
anymore? Much to be said about this without ever mentioning the telephone. People just don't want to take the time, what proves to be a great deal of time, because they don't feel comfortable. Faced with paper, they become self-conscious. Censoring the exuberance and confidence that are needed to write to someone, they hesitate. They make a draft. They search for an acceptable voice. And then letters seem so, well, one-sided, or lacking velocity. One is too impatient for the answer.
The bad news is worse now. This is real bad news. the kind that invites ceremoniousness. He wrote to console me in a florid, formal diction that I found heartrending. I received a letter from a close friend. I didn't open it for a week. It lay smouldering on my night table. The envelope bearing the name of a mere acquaintance I tore open eagerly, coming up the stairs, confident that the letter inside would contain nothing that could disturb me or hurt me. I have to tell you that I write in a very tiny script, so tiny it could be thought impossible to decipher, except that it is not. This script might seem to express my unwillingness to be known, my retreat from human contact, except that I want you to know me, which is why I'm writing to you, my love.
My love, this morning I received your wonderful letter, typed, and hastened to answer. Please write more. Letters are sometimes a way of keeping someone at a distance, but for this purpose one must write a great many letters, at least one, sometimes two a day. If I write you, I don't have to see you, touch you, put my tongue on your skin.
A black bordered envelope arrives from Germany, the printed announcement of a dear acquaintance's death, which I had learned by telephone a week earlier. I would find it easier to open my mail if all the major messages were color-coded. Black for death, red for love, blue for longing, yellow for rage. And an envelope with a border in the color once known as ashes of roses. Could that announce kindness? For I'm prone to forget this kind of letter exists too, the expression of sheer kindness. I cannot bear not getting a letter from you and no longer go out. Can it be that I was once carefree and giddy? Now I drag a long shadow behind me that withers the greenery as I pass. I stay indoors, waiting for your letter, your reply. My self-imposed house arrest is turning out to be a longer sentence than I ever envisaged. Sometimes I go back to bed in the late morning or early afternoon after the mail has been delivered, the daytime sleep that inmates of prison call fast time. Your letter will come. Tatiana has her indisputable feeling, but how does a feeling in one breast ignite a feeling in another? What are the laws of combustion? She can speak only of her own feeling. Desire is rapid as the postal system is slow. These delays in the mail make my letters obsolete at their creation, make whatever I write wrong. For even as I write, taking up each of the points in your last letter, there already exists a subsequent letter from you, written in response to the last one received from me, saying something else. As I write, there is already a new letter from you, which I have not read. The letter god is sporting with us. Our letters cross, but our limbs do not.
In the same way that you find the courage to write me, I find the courage to read your letter. Do not imagine that I mull over every line, but I think I've understood why it is hard for you to write me. See, you have allowed me to know you. It's because with each letter, it is as if you are writing me for the first time.
Tatiana rereads the 3 pages she has written and signed. Words are crossed out, tears stain the paper. But no matter, this is not a school exercise. It will stand as written, sealed.
Now I take a deeper breath, readying, faltering. My longing is at hand, in words. Turn up the halogen lamp. There's not enough light in this room. Please, go on writing. Your letters will always reach me. You can write me in your reel, your littlest script. I will hold it to the light. I will magnify it with my love.
camera can move in a way that emotionally gives something to the shot.
Yes.
In the way that Tony was sort of suddenly would sort of crane up and out, and you get that sort of feeling of whoosh, revealing something. That move up can either be a way of sort of slowly and calmly, so that you don't draw the viewer's attention to the fact the camera's moving. What you're simply doing is telling whatever story you're telling with that movement in the way that you're continuing.